You're absolutely right, Remo. Lin Guagua up against Soin, fighting for his first Tier 1 playoffs ever. He participated in a WGL, was eliminated there last place. He participated in every single DreamHack in the past year, was also eliminated in the group stage, and the same goes for the next tournaments too. So this is probably his biggest match to date. He had a very good result in the Smile Cup not too long ago, where he made it into the semifinals. Soin had these little breakout performances already. We all think about the DreamHack Regionals, where he surprised us all, made it into the top 6 playoffs we got there. Semifinal in the TED Cup as well, playoffs in Smile Cup and DreamHack Summer, semifinal in TED Cup 3. So he's having a pretty good year, but also in DreamHack, not the greatest performances, always eliminated in the group stage as well. Same goes for next. So there's quite some pressure on the most handsome man in Warcraft.
Looking at recent results, it does seem promising, though. You know, earlier we had that crazy stat of Alice, where he hadn't faced off against his opponent in 4 years against Focus, which is pretty nuts. The complete opposite for Soin versus Lin Guagua. They have faced 4 times already this year and played quite a few times before that as well. And every single game went to Soin. Best of 2s, best of 3. Soin was able to win every one of them. So recently he's been having Lin Guagua's number, it seems, but streaks sometimes are there to be broken, and Lin Guagua is looking to break that today and crown himself second place at least in this group.
And I, of course, got the stats to back up my man LGG. You're right that they had 4 matchups this year, but only 1 on this patch. It still was a win for Soin during the DreamHack Summer. But do you remember the DreamHack Regional qualifiers? They faced each other there as well. And it was a barn burner of an Orc Mirror, ending with a 3-2 also in favor of Soin. So in that regard, you're absolutely right. But on this patch, Lin Guagua is 7-2 in Orc Mirrors, and currently on a 6-0 win streak in this matchup.
Yeah, we talk about Fausti Headhunters all the time, especially against Human, also against Undead, but Orc Mirror sometimes gets left by the wayside. In Orc Mirror, we also see a whole bunch of Fausti Headhunters. There's a couple of Orcs out there who still prefer the Blade Master more and try to counter the Fausti with the Blade, which can be hard, but doable if you do it well. The number 1 standout player there for that is Hitman, Mr. Blade Master himself. Most other Orcs, though, have gone towards the Fausti Headhunter. It seems a little bit easier to execute. It seems to be a little bit more forgiving than a Blade Master. And it's going to be the big question here. Is it just going to be Fausti Headhunter on both sides? Or is one of them going to try it with the Blade?
Or both players have been fond of the TC Headhunters in this matchup. Very unusual, not too many of them play it, but if you want to throw off your opponent, it's a possibility, especially if we see Northern Isles, for example.
Yeah, it's a very fun strategy. It's a super cool high-level TC. We all know how strong it can be. Soin has been able to get big performances, big achievements with that before. Has been able to beat Focus, for example, with TC Headhunters. However, nowadays, with how aggressive Fausti Headhunter can be, with how efficient Farseer is early game with Wolves, it would be very hard to hold on against that in the early stages with a TC who doesn't have summons, who doesn't have good early game spells, who may not be able to make it to that powerful late game.
Yeah, there are a few downsides. I'm just saying that it is a possibility. Not saying that it's the best strategy per se, not saying it's the most normal strategy, but if we break down this matchup, we have to mention it, I feel. And it seems like we have a little bit of time to our hands here, so thank you, Pimp My, for the 6-month resub. Yo, half the year already. Congrats to your new sub badge. Really curious about the maps here. That could tell us a lot already.
Yeah, this could be a funky group stage, by the way, with Colorful looking so good. If he gets the win against Lin Guagua as well, that would be him having 3 victories. In that case, it could end up being all other 3 players having only 2 points. Only 2 draws, and then we would have a 3-way tie for second place.
The Chinese production is sweating already. Usually the days end at midnight for them, so if we have some tiebreakers tomorrow, oh yeah, get some coffee or some energy drinks, my friends.
Yeah, with how few games there kind of are, with how few points there are to be given away, it seems inevitable that we're going to require at least 1 tiebreaker. We're going to see about that tomorrow. The end of this day is also going to tell us quite a bit already. We have our first couple of results in already, with focus through, with colorful through, of course, and I think that's it for the guaranteed ones. Also, Foggy looking good, Lin looking good, but it's not 100% guaranteed yet. But yeah, this group stage, I really like it, man. I really like it. This is one of the most exciting group stages we had in a while. GSL format is the one we've had mostly before, but this one's new, this one's fresh, and there's just so much pressure on every map for the players to perform.
Yeah, not gonna lie, some of these WGL group stages were kinda one-sided, and I don't want to call it boring, because the stakes are so high. But the change is certainly for the better, even though some players in the Twitter bubble disagree for now. It's interesting, by the way. Do you know how many points these two are separated by in ELO?
Tell me.
Take a guess.
Well, I already looked it up, so I would be cheating.
3 points only, man. That's as close as it gets.
All right, that's a promising omen to have a very close game here between the two. Hopefully they are so close to each other in skill and are going to provide us with a really entertaining game. The maps are also going to possibly tell us quite a bit. There's some maps out there which are really good for a Blade Master, where perhaps we could be spying who might be wanting to play Blade and who might not be. The standout map there is Terra Stand, but that's not in the map pool anymore. And with that, I think we basically have officially said adieu to TM and TS. I think this is pretty much it for them.
Yeah, I can't think of a tournament that's still using them. We'll see about that. The thing about Lin Guagua is the map that he won. Oh, we got the maps finally. Let's talk about that once we go in. We have Autumn Leaves and Concealed. Who banned Northern? Oh, nobody. Interesting. Okay, Autumn Leaves. I have no clue how Orc Mirrors work on Autumn Leaves.
Yeah, we've hardly seen that so far. Normally, though, Autumn Leaves, from what we've seen up until this point, is really good for fast year headhunter creeping. There's a very easy level 3 creep route with green natural shop, and then you can contest the middle very easily. Concealed Hill can be a bit more of a grunt map. There's a lot of medium armor creeps, especially the natural can be crept very well with grunts. Same for the shop. The shop creep with the Windwalk Blade Master. And that's going to be our first map to start it off on, Concealed Hill. If we're going to see a Blade, I think we're going to see it here.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Soin has the looks, but LGG has the power of the Pikachu gaming chair. Let's see if Soin is able to ride the wave and save himself this tournament run, keep the playoffs alive. What I wanted to say prior to the maps is this one map that Lin Guagua won against Sock. Was this his victory or was it rather Sock's loss?
I don't want to take too much credit away from him by saying he didn't deserve that win, he didn't work for that win. He definitely played it well, but yeah, Sock did mess it up a bit. He was a little bit careless after a pretty good early game, after an expansion being up. Sock did give away his advantage. That is certainly true, but Lin Guagua did work for it as well. Sometimes you're behind in the game, right? Sometimes you're behind and you have to hope for the opponent to make a mistake and then be in a position to punish it. And Lin Guagua was certainly able to do just that. He's starting off in the top right in the red with the Farseer Headhunter build, and Soin with the Blade Master. I think we can all appreciate this. This is always the most fun to see a matchup like that when it's two different strategies going up against each other.
And I'm shedding a little tear, Remo, that this is possible in Orc Mirror. How many years did we suffer through Blade Grunt, Raider, Walker, Kodo? Too many! Way too many. Appreciate the deviation, and especially Lin Guagua. Always a player who doesn't want to face his opponent in a mirror match head-to-head with the same strategy. He calls himself the micro-orc now, maybe with a little wing, you know? But usually he tries to cheese, and as I said, 6-0 win streak in Orc Mirror, it seems to be paying off.
Going for the green camp first with the Farseer, interesting. So of course easily creepable with those wolves. The crucial point in this matchup is going to be level 3. This is going to be a huge level up, especially for the Farseer with a level 2 wolf, but also for the Blade Master, pretty good. Early level 2 Windwalk gives you a lot of damage, and just every level up is good for the Blade Master. Those bonus stats really scale well on the blade, and so do Claws of Attack. First item here for Soin is the Claws. Keeps on creeping, and It's a pretty passive game so far. It seems like both want to rush that level 3 as fast as they can.
Yeah, speaking of rushing, this Blade Master build had 2 burrows, right? So the tech is not very, very fast for Soin, which is, I think, a good thing for Lin Guagua, because his tech is, of course, going to be later thanks to the Headhunter. He's actually faster!
Yeah, by a little bit. Very close between the two. Of course, the big upside of playing Farseer is you don't have to build a shop. You don't need salves, you don't need clarities, you don't need a speed scroll. You can just let the wolves tank the damage, save all that gold, whereas Soin has to go for heal salves. He's taking a lot of damage on the Blade Master, on the grunts, and is going for an expo creep with only 2 grunts early on. Oh my god, and Guagua's going to scout for it!
Oh.
What a sick scout! Has to use the speed scroll to boost out of here. Everything is so hurt. But the Farseer, I think he's going to be able to get at least 1 grunt. If he gets 2 grunts, that's a disaster for Soin.
Soin is trying to body block with that 3rd grunt right there. There's, of course, Chain Lightning. Blade Master is finding the Headhunters as well. Needs to put in a little bit of damage. Do we see a corpse just yet? No, Soin is able to save them both to the fountain.
Really good movement by Soin. Here he recovers that bad position with really good Blade Master movement. It would have been really easy to panic right there and to move the Blade Master back with the rest of the army, but no, he realizes the Headhunters aren't here, they're creeping somewhere else, I'm gonna counter pressure against them, and if he takes out 2 or 3 Headhunters, that's some big pickoffs.
Ooh, the wolves wake up the creeps, and we were praising Soin for so much, but they had a double kill in the end. Wolves are hungry, they were suffering from creeping, but now they get their big reward. Not too sure how good orc meat tastes, but that victory certainly feels good. On the other hand, 2 Headhunters down as well.
2 Headhunters for 2 grunts. It is a somewhat even exchange, but of course it does favor Soin right here. Not just because Headhunters are cheaper, but because the grunts are going to be more valuable probably. The lower the numbers are, the better summons always are in the game, because they make up for more percentage-wise power of the army. And Soin, with these 2 grunt kills, he's wanting to finish this game right away, brings over the peons, gets level 3, and there's going to be a tower push here, it seems, with possibly a Fire Lord saying hello soon.
I think you got the players confused a little. It is Lin Guagua with the peons and with the advantage at the moment. Needs some healing. You need the firepower of the Headhunters, but yeah, speed scroll, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Headhunter here. Chat pointed it out already. This is what Lin Guagua plays against Hitman plenty of times on a ladder. And with all these grunts so hurt, Soin clearly needs a second hero.
Normally it's going to be Shadow with Heal Wave first in this defensive position. Alright, here we go. Fire Lord, mass summons. That's going to be a scary push. The Lodge is coming up to have the Shaman for the Dispel, but that's still pretty far away.
Okay. How much damage can he do? Can he push Soin into submission already? Or reveal against the Blade Master, putting some damage in. And that's the only windwalk he has. So how much hero focus can you really go for when you also not have hacks? 2 towers coming up. 1 Headhunter kind of safe to the left-hand side in exchange for Grunt. And as we said, exchanging a Headhunter for a Grunt is always good. Blade Master super hurt. That's Heal Wave right there. Also a potion. Big commitment by Soin early on.
One Headhunter goes down, a second one soon to follow. Shadowhunter has a bit of mana still left. 1 more Heal Wave is there, and this looks pretty solid so far by Soin, I think. 1 more Grunt will fall, but also lots of Headhunters going down. Wait a minute. Where'd they all go?
Wow, they all...
So many Headhunters died, only a single one is left.
Exactly. Blade Master and Shadowhunter going to town, and what a good decision to go for Heal Wave and not for the Hex, not for the Serpent Wards. Blade Master with a 96 crit. All of a sudden, there's only 24 supply left, and the towers were all abandoned.
Yeah, it was very nice here for Soin to bring in the peons right away to have that little bit more damage. It's not much, but it is relevant here in this crucial moment of the game. Of course, Lin Guagua is ultra all in. With these towers and Firelord, there is no way to transition into any kind of reasonable late game. This is it. This is what he has to win with, and he's down to 26 supply. It's not looking great.
He killed another Grunt, though, and another one is very hurt. This buys some time for the towers on the left-hand side. Blade Master is healing up. Chain Lightning on the Shadowhunter, and almost a surround. Does get a second chance with a body block on the Wolf, but Shadowhunter seems to be out of the fight for now. Blade Master bought another potion. That's 300 gold. Another Grunt going down. Lin Guagua, maybe he is turning this around with the fighting spirit that already helped him so much against Sock.
Blade healing again in Windwalk with the heal salve. Where are these shaman? Shouldn't they have been out by now?
Ooh.
They one-hit purge both Lava Spawn and Wolves, which is why they're so good against this push. But we don't see any shaman yet. Another grunt going down, and now Soin also has lost a lot of army. 31 supply, now only 27. Soin is losing more and more. It looked good for him for a moment, but this has completely changed.
The supply lead swings into the Chinese favor. 2 headhunters coming in, so I think we can assume it's double racks by now. Shadowhunter is still so hurt. The mana is low. He's very close to level 2. Blade Master is the sole carry for Soin. Shadowhunter trying to join the fray, where the Fire Lord is already there to burn him.
Wolves on cooldown at the moment, as it seems. Without Wolves, this is a little bit less scary for Soin to go into. He's got a couple of Shaman now. Heal wave coming in over and over. He lost some grunts, but the heroes stayed alive. And now the Farseer is getting pressured as well. Forced into heal potion there himself. One more Headhunter is going to be going down. We have 2 Headhunters left. Where are the Wolves, though?
Yeah.
There they are.
Okay, finally. Where's the damage gonna land on the Blade Master? Has a Windwalk. There's no reveal anymore. And another heal wave. This helps so much. Also, Hex. So maybe with Purge and Hex, you can finally go for that hero focus. Both Farseer and Firelord not too tanky themselves. Lin Guagua with decent focus fire on these Shaman to take that option away and also take Dispel away. Lightning Shield and more mana coming to the Shaman very, very soon. But this feels like it's still everybody's game to take 26 supply for both of them. Barely any unit. Here's the hero focus though with the first Hex. Firelord, is there a way to save him somehow? Shaman coming in. The Chakram to that of the Firelord extinguishes him.
Huge level up for the Blade Master, level 4 now for him, and that is level 2 critical strike. Tower is still being built, but that's going to be an easy cancel now for the Blade and the Grunt. Soin still with a tiny army only, but that hero loss is going to be painful. And the big problem here, of course, for Soin in this push is he doesn't have a shop. He doesn't have any healing. No heal salves anymore. His army is too hurt. This push was held, and Soin with that almost certainly should win this game.
Fat 140 crits as well against the squishy army. That's almost an insta-gib. Yeah, Lin Guagua switching gears right now. How do you even do that? Committing so hard on this Firelord tower push. Rough.
Yeah, this strategy is not going to get better. This is in nature and all in. The more Shaman there are, the easier it's going to be for Soin to counter. If it should come to a fight again, and there's like 3-4 Shaman, all the summons are going to be dispelled over and over. The Blade Master is going to have plenty of damage, and the Shadowhunter heal wave is going to be so strong in an extended fight. He's going to be level 3 here in a moment. Soin's also probably going to pick up a heal scroll here, being at the Merchant right now. And Soin, yeah, he's weathered the storm, and now he's enjoying some sunshine and cruise control.
Oh yeah. He bought a circlet, I think. That's what he got for his money. He's pretty broke apart from it, so no invuln, no heal scroll, only the heal potion. A little bit of clarity here, speed scroll of the beast for Lin Guagua. But is that going to be the savior against the level 4 Blade Master? I think it's just a matter of seconds. Speed scroll, not to engage, just to run away. But we're not playing Run Kitty Run. We are playing Slaughter these Orc heroes.
Trying to go for the big kill for the Farseer. That one's going to be a little bit harder to get. Going for Headhunters, that would be easy. But for that, perhaps he doesn't even need the Hex. Critical Strike comes in again, takes out another one. Only 3 Headhunters left, and the Shaman are still here to use these purges. He doesn't have that many, but he has enough to deal with the Wolves. And now, Lin Guagua is completely out of mana. The heal wave comes in again. Everything looking fairly healthy. Oh, there we see the Chain Lightning doing good damage. But the Headhunters now are just getting run down by the Grunts and the Blade, and it seems like Soin is going to close out this game.
Yeah, I mean, Firelord now has one of my favorite spells in the game, Incinerate. We all know how powerful that is, right, Remo? But I'm not sure if that can help him here. Wow, you're speechless, right? Over the force that is Incinerate. I understand that you are in awe a little of that powerful Firelord orb.
Yeah, absolutely. What a spell it is, you know. Forget about Stomp, forget about Clap, Incinerate, that's where it's at.
Exactly.
Soin, though, is not fearful of that powerful spell. He's moving forward, he's still got the big army. With the Kodos, there's an option here to devour some Grunts. Again, we're going for the hero kill. There's no Dispel to keep this Farseer safe. Purges against the Speed Scroll, and that's the Farseer dead. And the game over. GG is called, and Soin gets the first map. 1 point at least guaranteed and a chance to get 3 points here. Lin Guagua, his dreams of the playoffs, perhaps a bit in trouble.
Yeah, because his last match would be against Colorful, and we all saw how strong the one is. Now it's Lin Guagua in trouble with only 1 point off of 1.5 maps. He needs to score on Autumn Leaves, and that all in didn't really work.
As you correctly say, the match against Colorful is going to be really, really tough. Getting a loss here might mean he's out of the group unless he can get a draw or a win against Colorful. But that is certainly, on paper, the harder match than this one. Next map is going to be important for him. So with his first point, also crucially important for him, if he gets a win here now, getting 3 points would put him temporarily into second position in the group.
Exactly, he's just 1 map away. Plus, he has the decider match versus Sock, which seems doable at the moment. So LGG, will you be in tears after this series? But someone played this really well, right? Like, the start to this defense was so excellent. All the choices he made were so right. Micro was very good. Oh my god,
he focused the headhunters and the towers very well.
Yes.
It was important in the early defense to just completely ignore the wolves.
Yes.
It's kind of counterintuitive. Sometimes you want to take them out quickly because they also do a lot of damage, but of course, they're just summons. It's important more to go for the units right away. He delayed the shaman by a bit, I believe, but was still able to take out the headhunters fast, and we see the highlights right now. At some point, it was only 1 headhunter left and looked really tough for Lin Guagua. It was still a close affair. Soin lost quite some units there himself, but the important thing, the game winner in that defense was the shop. So he could go for heal self, he could go for heal potions, he had a bit of heal wave as well, and there's only so much health in the tank for Lin Guagua in this push. He had no source of healing.
Yeah.
He had 1 potion. Okay, 1 potion is what he got in that push, but he didn't have a backup shop. He didn't have a heal scroll. Maybe he should have gone for 1 shop instead of 1 tower. Maybe he could have gotten that up. He could have put that further back, but it was not to be. And of course, in the late game, if that push fails, this kind of all-in strategy stands no chance, as we saw against the strong Blade Master in Shadow.
Absolutely, and seeing this again, I feel like during the push, the headhunters were way too exposed. There were always 3 peons and 2 grunts picking at them, and with normal damage, that is good damage even from peons. And he lost a little bit too many of them. Wanted to be in range of the shaman. There is of course a trade, right? If you want to focus them, and if you want to get rid of that dispel, you have to move a little farther forward. But okay, that was Soin's map. Concealed Hill played it well, took the win, and now it's up for Lin Guagua. Will he score his 2nd point? Or will he be ruined after this one? Soin with a chance for big points.
Even if Lin Guagua loses here, there is a chance he can still somehow make it, but it's going to be tough. And it's going to be a tough last match as well against Colorful. We're going to see them now going on to Autumn Leaves. And the question is, so is he going to stick with a blade, or is he going to follow with some Farseer headhunter of his own?
Okay, or is it finally time for the TC? We have Soin in the blue, spawning bottom left on Autumn Leaves, and we have Lin Guagua in the upper right once again in Chinese red. So where do we
I think
go?
its early game is going to be very crucially centered around creep routes, again, around level up timings. We saw how important it was for the Blade Master to get level 3 to pull off that defense. If you're not level 3, that push will kill you almost every time. Lin Guagua, I think this should not surprise us, is going to go for the Farseer Headhunters again. The more interesting thing lays across the map on the other side, and here it is also gonna be FS.
Farseer Mirror, everybody. Someone called Rotterdam, but yeah, it is Headhunter time as well. Thought, okay, TC as a surprise, but no, with the barracks so late, you can't do anything with the TC early on. So this strategy might be saved for the 2-on-2s, the 3-on-3s, the 4-on-4 competitions. Farseer Headhunter all the way.
Oh yeah, baby. And this is a really fun orc mirror, because normally Farseer Headhunter leads into tier 3, and then Shaman with Bloodlust, aka rah rah rah, and Triple Hero. It gets really explosive, it gets really crazy, and it gets really hectic. You have to be on top of your game, micro-wise. Hero focus is gonna be insane. You're gonna have to have the perfect item distribution, and this is gonna get wild, Neil. This is gonna get bloody.
How I love myself some bloody Warcraft, especially with Bloodlust. Every time that there's Bloodlust, cast a little Bloodlust on myself as well. So big fan of that. But so far, we're starting off a little tame, just a little creeping. Nobody being aggressive, nobody rushing over, even when rush distance is so small. Here on Autumn Leaves, Headhunters joining the fray, creep speed increasing, and of course we look at the items, which is with a little bit of a different creep route, right? So in starting with a little green, then moving to the orange, Lin Guagua, already a little more aggressive here.
Yeah, Soin just sniped the item there at the tiny green, and then goes over to the bigger green. So if we go for the standard creep route, green, natural, shop, then Lin Guagua should be a bit faster. But Lin Guagua now on his way across the map. He's letting the rest of the army creep level 2 for him. And it's kind of cool. Now we can steal the big last hit here of the Ogre Magi with a Chain Lightning if he sees the opportunity.
Okay, Soin saw him, saw the level advantage, sees the opportunity for the Chain Lightning and backs off. While Lin Guagua continues to creep, has decent mana as well. So the early game, a little bit more efficient for LGG.
Yeah, Soin doesn't want to lose that last hit here, so he creeps his own level 2 at the rest of the green. Easily doable with the wolves, and the first aggressive attempt here for Lin Guagua doesn't work out, but it didn't really cost him anything, so it's completely fine. Standing in the middle. This would be very early to creep these middle camps with only 3 headhunters. I don't think that's really doable. With 5 or 6, it certainly is. But now he's truly moving in to try to find some kills. And there's an Ensnare on a Headhunter. That's going to be our first blood.
Okay, also going to Lin Guagua. Sacrifices the wolves for it. But it's also more time where Soin can't really accomplish what he wants. And that's this natural expansion. Now, Lin Guagua is also sacrificing a little bit of his creep speed as the rest of the army is not doing something simultaneously. But I guess it's understandable. Tech is commencing, upgrades are coming, shop more. Oh, actually he's going for the mercenary camp. That's brave. But he has the right call as Soin is going for his natural first.
Outed with the wolf, but a little bit too late there perhaps by Soin. Big consumable. What is it? Oh, the mana stone for Lin Guagua. The Vasher died to the creeps! Oh no, Guagua! From heaven to hell in 10 seconds.
Feels bad, man.
Oh.
Oh no.
Micro God strikes again.
Don't go breaking my heart.
That creep cam, you know, it does a decent amount of damage. As we saw right there. Lin Guagua, he must have been looking somewhere else, I guess. Oh boy, that's
a yikes.
That's a rough one, folks.
That's a yikes. That's game. I mean, we don't have to pretend, right? That is so game.
Oh, he's trapping the Farseer here, which is kind of cool, but not sure you can hold that surround. When's the TC finally coming out? Can he do something?
Oh yeah, the Farseer also stuck behind the TC.
Oh boy. And the level 2 wolves now so strong. Well,
okay,
I think we can call it, boys.
That is the end of the broadcast for the day. The rest of my Thursday will be spent with grieving.
Does force the TP in the end, but such a huge experience lead. Level 3.5 versus level 2.5. Farseer, and the TC is also so much faster.
Jesus.
Someone can start leveling this TC right now over at the gold mine, perhaps. And he's gonna have that strong level 2 wolves ability now as well. Lin Guagua.
What a rough
game.
What a rough day for Clan Go. Alice manhandled by Focus. Lin Guagua destroyed here by Soin. And Shao Kahn, of course, not even part of this. Yeah, level advantage. Second hero advantage. He killed so much. There's no way back. If there's a way back, though, I'm gonna party for 4 days.
You sound so distraught, Neil. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's
You're sorry? I have your camera on the OBS. You're smiling from ear to ear. Don't lie to our audience. You're laughing the entire time.
I mean, it was pretty funny. Not every day you see the Farseer dying to creeps. It's double bestiary for Lin Guagua. That's probably the right call. Try to cheese with something. The problem is, though, you can't go Wyvern. You can't go Kodos. Those are already countered by Headhunters, so you have to go
Bat Riders.
Raiders.
At this point, go Bat Riders, tech to tier 3. Go for Liquid Fire.
Maybe he's been watching some Star-shaped streams. Hell yeah, why not?
With a Blade Master 3rd, then. Base is wide open. Soin. Kind of curious that he doesn't have a bigger smile on his face. Creeping game continues. And this is such a fast creeping now with all that damage. Sobi mask on the TC. Well, at least you're having fun.
I'm having fun. Are you having fun, Neo?
No.
No, Neo's not having fun. Neither are the peons. They're getting pressured by these wolves over and over. Also, mining now seriously disrupted.
Jeez.
Soin is just getting further and further ahead. Guagua is still struggling to build any kind of serious army. 27 supply only. It took him forever to clear out that consumable camp over there. He finally got it, and he got the one of mana stealing. That mana stone is certainly still a nice item, but he doesn't even have stomp yet. He's got aura first, didn't level up to 2 by now. And Soin, he's gonna get double level up here in the top left. He's gonna get 4 and 3 in his first and second hero, and then going for a fight could be huge. But hey, Lin Guagua got an instant pickoff.
Yay! That's the start of the biggest comeback in WGL history after already coming back against Sok on day 1. I gotta feel like Soin could just leave his desk for like a minute, but still win this match.
Takes out a Raider there as well. He does have now Bloodlust. He's got a Shadowhunter coming out as well. Shadowhunter with Hex is pretty good against Raider lane. Whenever the Raiders come in, you Hex one, disable it, take it out. He doesn't have ends there himself to pin down these enemy Raiders, but he does have Purge, which can also be used as some form of crowd control, and of course the TC, who now has level 2 Stomp and a Pendant of Energy.
Yeah, what are these bias drops, by the way? Claw and Mantle for the Farseer, Pendant of Energy, Ring and Subi Mask for the TC. Soin clearly blessed today.
Blessed by the gods.
Blessed by the
Guagua, is he gonna try to take this fight? With only 2 Raiders, gonna be tough. He's trying to go for the hero kill, but he still doesn't have Stomp. The misery doesn't end. TC's gonna go down, and that is gonna be GG and a clear beatdown on map 2 by Soin.
Okay, Soin clearly alive, making up for this defeat on game 1. And man, he's in a solid position now, having to face Sok, who really doesn't seem to be in tip-top shape, and Soin with a statement victory. Clean 2-0. He didn't really break a big sweat this entire series. He was just the better player, ending Lin Guagua's 6-0 win streak versus ORC, and remained successful against this specific opponent. Man, 3 points now. That is rank 2 in Group B.
3 points exactly, rank 2 for Soin, and that means Guagua will need at least 3 points, so a draw will not be enough. So he's gonna have to beat Colorful 2-0 to make it out of the group.
Yeah, that's an easy task, right? I mean, Colorful in 2 days didn't make a single mistake.
I'm sorry, Neo, I know he's your boy, but yeah, Lin Guagua faltering a bit today. He's gonna have to overperform like crazy against Colorful. The good thing is, he still got fate in his own hands. If he plays out of his mind, and if he beats Colorful, he can still do it. But Soin now looking to be in prime position to make it out of this group. However, if Soin gets beaten by Sok, it's gonna be a tie point-wise between the two, but Sock would be winning the head-to-head comparison. So Soin also is going to have to get a tie, actually, to make it into second place against Sock.
Yeah, still all up for grabs for all the players, but we have to keep an eye on these results. Man, do you remember in the Pokemon series first season when Pikachu was smashed by Onix in that first arena fight? This is how I feel right now. Exactly like that. And probably Lin Guagua as well.
Was that first season better than Saber Rider?
Nothing's better than Saber Rider, dude. What are you talking about?
Well, I wouldn't know. I've never seen it. But yeah, that certainly was a very clear affair. Lin Guagua, hopefully he's going to be able to recover here. Hopefully he's going to be able to step it up for his last game of the group stage, which is later today against Colorful, because yeah, this performance is not going to cut it for the top 8.
I really hope Shao Kai is around to cheer up Alice and Lin Guagua respectively, the third member of Clan Go. Phew, they need cheering up today, man. First 2 days were pretty competitive, even though the results sometimes, especially on day 1, were kind of one-sided. But man, these games today. Korea not fooling around when it comes to the playoffs.
As so often, they're looking very good. The South Koreans here, once again, in this group stage. Quite impeccable. Focus and Moon in Group A, we saw that before. And Colorful is holding up the flag, though. Colorful is going to get first place in Group B. We know that for certain now as well.
Now we have our first Western representative coming up. It is another mirror match, but it is a human mirror. Chamiko, one of the stars so far of day 1, also clean sheet, up against Hawk, who took a map off of Lin. It is Hawk's big chance, big match, the probably decisive match for the playoffs for the Russian. Can he repeat his playoff run from last time he participated, or will he have a very, very tough time here in Group C? Spread the word. It's Hawk's time coming up, and see you in a bit.